Have you ever felt tired but didn't know why? Like everything is moving along, but your heart doesn't feel like it's coming with you. You wake up in the morning, go about your usual activities, smile at others, laugh in front of people, but at night you're alone, feeling empty. Maybe you're wondering, is there something wrong with me? But really, it's not about whether something's wrong with you. It could be that your heart is just tired from being left alone too often. We often take care of our bodies, eating healthy, exercising, skincare, resting. But the heart? When was the last time you took care of your heart? You know, the human soul has three main elements: the mind, the heart, and desire. And out of the three, the heart plays the most important role, because the heart is a compass. The heart is a leader. If your heart is healthy, you'll be stronger in facing life. But if your heart is broken, everything else falls apart. In this video, we're going to talk about how to take care of the heart, so it stays sane, stays strong, and stays calm. Because life isn't about looking good on the outside, but about truly being at peace on the inside. Don't love someone who doesn't love you back. Have you ever loved someone who never truly saw you? You send long messages. She replies with just one word. You always ask how she's doing, but she never asks how you are. You watch all her stories, but she doesn't even notice you exist. We often think love is something we must fight for, but sometimes what we call fighting for love is actually just not knowing when to let go. We keep chasing someone who isn't even running in the same direction. Love is not a competition. It's not about who fights the hardest. It's about two people walking together, seeing each other, holding on to each other. Loving someone who doesn't love you back is like pouring water into a glass that's already upside down. No matter how much you pour, it will never fill. And what's even more painful is that you start to feel like you're not enough. You keep blaming yourself. But the truth is, it's not that you're lacking. It's just that she never wanted to receive you. Your heart deserves better. Your emotions deserve better. Your mind deserves peace. Not to keep hoping for someone who never looks your way. And what's even more dangerous is when someone genuine comes into your life, someone who truly wants to know you, appreciate you, you shut your heart because you're still busy fighting for someone who was never really there. We reject the sincere ones and keep waiting for the selfish ones. We'd rather be hurt than open our hearts to be loved. Don't waste your time trying to convince someone who never wanted to believe in you. Don't drain your energy loving someone who was never afraid of losing you. Let go. Not because you lost, but because you deserve to be loved without having to beg for it. Live authentically. We live in an era where everything is measured by appearance, what you wear, what you own, and what you can show the world. And without realizing it, we start to adjust ourselves, start wearing masks just to impress others, start faking who we are just so we won't be left behind. But life is simple. It's the weight of social expectations that makes it feel complicated. We start feeling ashamed of wearing unbranded clothes, ashamed of riding an old motorcycle, ashamed of being friends with ordinary people, even ashamed to acknowledge our parents who live simply. But being authentic doesn't mean lacking. It means being honest, and being honest with yourself is worth more than any designer item. The more you try to be someone else, the more you lose yourself. The more you chase others' expectations, the further you drift from peace. You don't need to have tons of friends to be valuable. You don't need thousands of followers to be considered successful. And you don't have to appear perfect to be worthy of love. Live as you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Be proud of everything you own, even if it's small, even if it's simple. Because those who truly care don't care about what you wear. They care about who you really are. And remember, you're not alive to impress everyone. You're alive to feel whole within yourself. Stop listening to what people say. No matter what you do, in other people's eyes, there will always be something wrong. If you're confident, they say you're arrogant. If you're quiet, they say you're unfriendly. If you're honest, they say you're rude. If you're relaxed, they say you lack ambition. It's as if every step you take has to be tailored to everyone's preferences. But do you know what hurts the most? It's not their words, it's that you believe them too much. You start doubting your choices. You start fearing every step. You start second-guessing being yourself just because you're afraid of being judged. But your life doesn't belong to them. The wounds you carry aren't theirs to bear. So why should you live by their standards? You will never be able to please everyone, because one person will say you're not enough, another will say you're too much, one says you're too slow, another says you're too rushed, and in the end, if you're too busy pleasing everyone, there's one person who will definitely be disappointed. You. You lose your inner voice just to fulfill expectations that never stop coming. So don't waste your time chasing meaningless validation. Life isn't about making everyone applaud. It's about having the courage to stand tall, even if no one claps for you. Be the best version of yourself, not an edited version of what others want you to be. Clean up your social media. Be honest. How many times have you opened social media and ended up feeling like your life isn't good enough? Seeing other people's posts, overseas vacations, career milestones, romantic relationships, perfect appearances, it all makes you feel left behind. But those are just the best parts of their lives, carefully curated, edited, filtered, and you compare all of that to your real life, raw, messy, and full of struggle. Over time, you start to feel like you're not enough. You start comparing. You begin to question your life choices. You slowly lose your sense of gratitude. That's why you need to clean up your social media. Block what breaks your heart. Unfollow what constantly makes you feel less. Mute stories that only show off, but never offer any meaning. And this doesn't mean you're being overly sensitive. It means you're growing. You know what's worth seeing and what you need to distance yourself from. Taking care of your heart isn't just about staying away from people who hurt you directly. It's also about protecting yourself from content that quietly eats away at your happiness. Because the more you let yourself be exposed to things that make you feel unworthy, the harder it becomes to love yourself. Your life isn't someone else's content. You have your own story, your own timeline, and your own journey that can't be compared. So, clean your feed, guard your digital space. Don't be afraid of losing views, followers, or online presence, because it's far better to lose that than to lose yourself. Stop overthinking. Have you ever been alone and suddenly remembered something that happened years ago and it still hurts, just like it did back then? Or maybe you start thinking, why did they leave me? Was it my fault? Was I not good enough? And the thoughts just keep repeating, spinning endlessly like a broken record in your mind. In psychology, this is called rumination, thoughts that keep circling with no direction. And the deeper you sink into it, the more trapped you become. Overthinking wears you out. Even though you're doing nothing, it makes you afraid, even before anything actually happens. We've all been in that place. But here's what you need to remember. You have the power to stop. First, redirect your focus. Don't let those thoughts grow in empty space. Do something small. Clean your room, watch a light movie, call a friend, exercise, journal, pray. Simple things, but powerful. Because once you start moving, those negative thoughts slowly lose their grip. Second, stop being so hard on yourself. You're human. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to fail, but it's also okay to rise. You deserve to forgive your past. You deserve to feel joy today, even if you were hurting yesterday. And most importantly, don't go through it alone. Build a support system. Find people you trust, who won't judge you, who can just listen without lecturing. Because sometimes one hug, one kind sentence, one moment with someone who genuinely cares, that's enough to pull you out of that dark spiral. Overthinking is not the end. It's just a signal that you need rest. You need a break. You need space to breathe. And you deserve that. Because you are enough. Because you deserve peace. Draw closer to God. After all the struggles, all the wounds, all the exhaustion you've carried alone, there is one place that is always open for you. A place where you don't need to explain everything, where you don't have to pretend to be strong, where you don't have to act like you're okay. That place is your connection with God. When your heart is full of pain, your mind is crowded with noise, and the world feels too loud, draw closer to the one who hears it all, because you can tell him everything. Why you feel alone, why you're afraid, why you're sad, even why you're starting to doubt yourself. God has never been far. It's us who often drift away. We get so busy chasing the world that we forget the one who's been protecting us from the beginning. But every tear that falls, every whispered prayer, every hope you quietly breathe out in prostration, It all reaches him. You may whisper to the earth, but he hears it in the heavens. And you don't need to be perfect before coming to him. In fact, it's in your most broken, most fragile state that the return becomes most beautiful, because a weak heart is often the closest to his strength. So if you've tried everything and still feel empty, don't give up. Maybe what you're looking for isn't out there, but in the prayer you've been postponing. Draw closer to God, not because you're weak, but because you want to be strong in the right way. When you're close to God, you'll never truly feel alone. You'll realize, no matter how heavy life gets, you're never walking through it alone. Conclusion. Life isn't always easy. Sometimes we have to learn to let go, sometimes to accept. Sometimes we have to stand alone, even when it feels heavy. But what we need to remember is, you don't have to be perfect to deserve happiness. You just need to be the best version of yourself today. Be honest with yourself. Care for your own heart. Loving yourself isn't selfish. It's a form of gratitude, a form of responsibility for the life that God has entrusted to you. Stop chasing love that doesn't love you back. Live simply, not to impress others. Don't let people's opinions weigh you down. Clean up your social media from things that hurt you. Stop overthinking, and most importantly, draw closer to God. Because happiness isn't about who's around you. It's about how you treat yourself. And remember, even on your darkest days, there is always hope. There is always a hand you can hold, whether it's a human hand or the hand of God that's always open for you. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video touched your heart, don't hesitate to share it with someone you love. They might be struggling too and need a reminder that they're not alone. See you in the next video. Take care of your heart, take care of yourself, and keep growing.